We did our productivity project on improving the efficiencies of the Panera Bread in Oakland.
Anyone who stepped foot in this location knows that it's a host to a wide variety of inefficiencies, which we'll touch on later. But here's a brief overview of a closing staff. We have 2 register workers who ring up customers, take their orders, grab bagels, pastries, and make drinks. Then we have 2 line workers who prepare salads, soups, sandwiches, and then the overall order to go out to the customers. And then 1 dining room worker who maintains cleanliness of the dining room, which is very large at this location. And then we have 1 dish worker who runs all the dishes through and maintains the cleanliness of the back of the house, and then a manager who oversees the entire operation.
So this Panera is going to be getting ordering kiosks very soon, so basically just 4 little screens where customers can place orders for themselves. It's going to reduce the number of registers that are needed, which is going to both free up space and employees. So the employees will be who would be working register will be able to go be productive elsewhere. These kiosks are not going to be taking cash or Panther funds, so there will still be a couple of registers open, and it's just going to make ordering faster and easier on both the customers and the employees.
All right. So through our observations, we found 5 main areas of improvement, and also 5 places where customers complain a lot. So first was the long waiting lines. Next, there was customer confusion because there's 2 sets of registers currently. Customers don't know which ones to go to. There are drink station inefficiencies. There's also 2 drink stations, 1 for hot and 1 for cold beverages. McKinley will touch on the inefficiencies of those in just a minute. The speed of service was often too slow for the customer's liking, and the store was not as clean as it should be.
So this is the current layout of the Panera Bread. As Rachel mentioned, there are 2 sets of registers. From over here, you can only see the menu for the bakery, and from over here, you can only see the regular menu, which confuses customers because they think this area is only for ordering bakery goods, and some people might end up cutting people in line accidentally because of that. And there's also flow issues with the barista and the line. So over here is the line where the food is made, and the employees making sandwiches have to cross paths with each other in order to get to where they're going, to the consolidator, which is just not safe because there have been reports of people running into each other, and they'll be dropping food and have to remake it, which is both time and money. And then the RPU system. So Panera has rapid pickup where you can place an order online and it'll be ready when you get there. So after the order is done being made, the employee has to walk all the way around the outside of the counter to here where there's a shelving unit for the rapid pickups to stay. That's just a lot of unnecessary movement, and then also because this shelf is very out of view of most of the employees, it's very easy for those orders to get stolen. And then finally, the drink station. Hot drinks are here, cold drinks are over here. They're about 13 feet apart, so if a person needs to move back and forth between them for an ingredient or a cup or anything like that, it's a lot of unnecessary walking.
So for our analysis, there were 3 methods of data collection that we used. The first one was a time study of people ordering. We timed how long it took the person to place an order once they reached the register, and then we also saw how long it took the person to get their food once they were done ordering. The second one that we conducted was we went behind the counter and took physical measurements of how big different structures were, how big the workstations are, how far apart they are from each other, just to give us a sense of the space that we were working with and the space that Panera is currently utilizing and how they could possibly be using it better. And lastly, we did a couple observation-based measures. We did a Thurblick analysis of the barista to see kind of where the value and non-value adding steps were coming in there. We also did a value stream map here of the barista. Again, we looked at employee reports, and we also created flow process maps, flow diagrams, facility layout diagrams, just to see how the overall processes of Panera are currently working.
So with the implementation of the kiosks, which would be like right here in front of the line, we also are able to eliminate these full registers and just have these 3 registers as our main registers. So with the elimination of these registers, we now have 11 free feet of space on the line, and we would like to try and use that 11 feet of space as effectively as possible. So the first big thing that we would like to implement is a second salad station here. We'd like to make the line as symmetric as possible. So like the second half, the Sandwich Station 2, Salad Station 2, and Consolidator 2 are all on this side of the line, and then the same thing for all of the main ones. So they will all flow inward and try and get to the consolidator, so all the products are arriving at the same place. We would like to implement a second salad station just because right now the salads seem to be a bottleneck. Consolidators are often waiting on the salads, and it really just makes sense that if there's a second consolidator and there's a second sandwich station, there should be a second salad station as well. And then additionally, as McKinley mentioned before, we reassigned the sandwich stations to the consolidators that were closer to them, just to avoid them walking extraneous distances or bumping into each other, dropping products on the floor, things like that. And then the second big improvement that we would like to do is implementing an RPU shelf that's kind of like in line with the rest of the production. This RPU shelf would likely have an open back so that the employee is able to just pass things right through. They don't even have to leave the kitchen in order to put things on the shelf. And then in addition to that, the open back is going to make employees be able to like monitor the orders much better and kind of deter customers from stealing orders. That'll help reduce loss, and then that will reduce the time that people have to spend remaking orders. And then the final improvement is the consolidation of the drinks into one station. We're going to put the hot and the cold drinks together into one, and then we're going to add this drink delivery counter with like the 2 or so extra feet that we have left. Because before this was like the little drink counter, it was a little bit of an afterthought. There really wasn't a designated place to place drinks, and this kind of led to a little bit more of customer confusion. So with the new hot and drink cold station layout, we really wanted to make everything compact, but like within reach. So everything is all within one place, but the worker still has ample room to make the drinks. So we wanted to have everything have a designated area, so the worker is able to reach for like a utensil that they need or product that they need, and it'll be right there. We just kind of modeled this off of like 5S ideology, just to make it a little bit easier on the worker. And then in addition, we kind of would like to apply the same 5S to the cooler, just so everything is in one place, and the stock is a little bit more improved as well.
Suggested a few other recommendations and improvements. First, we would really like to eliminate phone-in orders. When you call the Panera, you have the opportunity to place an order on the phone, and those orders get processed differently, and because of those differences, it takes a long time to keep moving the line along. What we would like to do is change the directory when you call Panera so that you are directed online to place any orders and not calling the facility directly. And in doing that, the order would get processed like any other RPU or any other order that gets sent in. We would also like to improve the line stock list. The problem that we're seeing now is that there's no sufficient predictive model available for the employees to be able to properly stock for rush hour times, so for lunch rushes or dinner rushes. They're finding themselves having to run into the stock room to get more and more supplies as the shift goes along. But if we're able to better predict the materials that they're going to need for those shifts, we will be able to keep the line moving along in an efficient way so that people aren't stepping out of line and getting materials and stepping away from their job in order to do that. We'd also like to improve the weekly cleaning list. Right now, people are kind of just being pulled from whatever job they're doing to go and clean the main dining area or clean other parts of the facility. By having a better schedule in place, associates aren't being pulled from the important jobs that they're already doing, like making food or making drinks or being a manager. And in doing so, we'll be able to figure out times that best work for the store so that people can still do the important jobs that they're doing while maintaining the cleanliness of Panera Bread.
And that is the end of our presentation. Thank you.